Hi guys, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the fifth episode of the Football Juice podcast. Um, Hope you guys are doing well. And it's been 2 weeks, I think. I think more than 2 weeks now. We had our podcast, and hope you guys had a good Christmas break. For those who are celebrating or who celebrated. And for those of you who don't celebrate Christmas, hope you had a good holiday. Yeah, so we are back again for the fifth episode of the Football Juice podcast. And in a bit, a few the rest would join me. But yeah, I mean it's been a crazy 2 weeks with the matches, going, one after the other, in like every 2 to 3 days you get a match to watch. I think for those who are living, in Malaysia or or Brunei, Singapore, Indonesia, or even in the Southeast Asia side or Asia side, you come to realize that you make a lot of sacrifices, going online to watch these matches, or watching it, on your TV through Astro or something like that. But yeah, you guys are the true fans, man. I'm not saying that the match going fans are not, but honestly, like when we wake up, at 2 a.m. or that 3 a.m., in the wee hours just to catch your team. Really big up to you guys, and really salute you guys. Um, so yeah, I mean, good to see you guys. Good to see you guys on the channel today. Today we'll be discussing quite a number of things. Right? There are a few things to discuss, but of course, that we are in the end of December. That means the top four race gets heated up. That means it gets more competitive. It gets more interesting from now on. Not just the top four race, but also like the title race itself, right? You get to see who's actually you get a glimpse of who might actually steady their position on the first on the number one, in the table. Let me just quickly add Jasmine in. Yo, man.
Yo, 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 what's up?
What's up?
How's it going?
Good, good. I was just telling the people, on the channel, the ones who are live right now, that it's been a crazy few weeks right now with the match, and the games are coming, thick and fast.
Yeah,
And I was just telling them that most of these games are not like the ones that we watch in the weekend, which is like 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. Like it's actually in the wee hours. It's like, you know 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So I was just saying that these guys are the true fans, especially in Asia. They wake up at these hours, and so big up to all of you, man. Yeah.
yeah,
So what's going on,
definitely.
man? Jasmine, like, what have you been up to? And did you get to catch all the games? I mean, especially Arsenal games
Uh,
last week.
the one that I missed was Norwich, where we won 5-0. Because I
Oh.
was on a holiday, so I couldn't watch the match. So I think that's the only game I missed so far. But I watched
Mm-hmm.
the highlights. It was a good game. It was a good game. I think kind of like an easy game. Uh, I I didn't even see Arsenal like going into like the second game, like how they play against Spurs or Leicester.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So it's very, I think probably Norwich also. It's not, they are in a rough patch lah. Like confidence is low. I think
Mm,
fans are going against their own players and all.
mm.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a that's the game that I missed. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's been a packed week as well because of Christmas, and it's hard to even the last United game. The one that I caught was the one with Newcastle. I believe it was Newcastle.
one
Um,
all.
the Yeah, it was the second half that I managed to watch. But yeah, I mean, there's another game tonight. We are playing Burnley at Old Trafford. So let's see I mean, we'll cover all that in a bit. Fami is also joining soon. But yeah, man, like I was just telling that it's already December and it's heading towards the transfer window as well in January, and it's going to be quite interesting because this is where you will see in the next few months you will see which club will solidify their positions in the top four, and it's going to be quite interesting for Arsenal especially. They look like they are doing better than a month ago. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I think so. Uh, a month ago was Man United and Everton, right? They lost back to
Yeah.
back.
Mm.
Then yeah, I think we won. I think we lost against Liverpool. Won against I don't know, Southampton. I think
Mm, mm,
it was
mm,
a home game, and then we lost against Man United and Everton. Yeah, I think to be honest, I kind of expected this run to come back again
mm,
because
mm.
I, to be honest, not being biased or anything. Even for the past few years, right? Even in the end of Wenger era,
Yeah.
during Emery's time, I wouldn't be usually confident going into any away games for Arsenal.
Mm, mm.
Any away games, like you don't care whether you're Norwich or you are in the relegation battle, or you are Newcastle or what, right? I wouldn't have that confidence going into. I mean, as an Arsenal fan, but I mean this part for this year, for especially in this with this team, right? I see a
Yeah.
different, I see a difference of mentality, a difference of playing in terms of confidence and all. I
Yeah.
think the turning point for me was a win against Leicester. That was the turning point for me. Hey, if you can go and win at
Mm.
Leicester, it's a big deal, because I mean Leicester now is, you're going to talk about it after that, right? Leicester now is quite a bad,
Yeah.
right, and a rough patch. So back then was they were like, okay, they're gonna replace Arsenal in the big six. That conversation was going on and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so they are now doing better, I feel. But I feel we are not a Champions League team yet. We're not a Champions League team yet. We are just
Mm.
probably a top six, top four team. So I'm looking it in the next season, right? If
Yeah.
you maintain with this team, with the
Mm.
Champions League qualification, we'll suffer for sure. That's what I'm seeing. Uh, because Champions League is not a not it's not a Europa League, and definitely you need a better player. Yeah, I think the advantage that we're having is we don't have European football. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's solid, like you going into games knowing that we have a chance to win. It's not like yeah, this, whether it will come out as a draw or what as, but next game is against Man City. uh
Oh yeah, Saturday,
yeah,
right?
so
On
Saturday, yeah.
Saturday.
So uh I'll do
That's a
you want me to
massive
give a
game, man. It's a
yeah, it's a
massive game for
massive
you
massive.
guys. It's not a massive game for City, but it's a massive
um
game for you
I think
guys.
massive game for Liverpool or Chelsea lah. If they want to catch up with Man City. But yeah, so yeah, I'm happy with the progress. I'm happy with Arteta. I understood the defeat that we had against Man United and Everton lah. So I mean, we cannot win all 38 games. We cannot win all of our away games. There will be some blip and all lah. So I was expecting that.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's from me for Arsenal.
Yeah, man. I think Arsenal are doing they are doing much better. I think okay. One thing we have to establish here is I think Arteta is Arteta is a coach, right? For his level, I think he's a coach. He's not like a boss. He comes
Yeah,
in but I think he tries to be a boss.
yeah,
Trying to stamp his authority and doing the Pep thing. How Pep
yeah,
is very stubborn as well. Like it's my way or you go to hell. Um, I think that's what he's trying to do. I think he's really trying to stamp his authority. But I could see the coach side of him, like he can coach the football, the technicalities. But as a man manager and all that, I think he's learning his craft. I think it's going to take some time. But I was quite surprised that he had to encounter a challenge like Oba. And then
yeah,
he had to actually he had to stamp his authority and say, hey, you know what, I'm demanding respect and commitment. If not, then pack your bags and leave. For
yeah,
him to say like that to someone influential like Oba is, I think he's pretty influential in the squad, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's quite something, right? What do you think?
Mm. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Uh, After winning the FA Cup, right? I think
Yeah.
the board trust Ateta. I think they trust his authority. He trusts his direction, his coaching. And if you guys don't know, he has been promoted as a manager of the club already. So he's no longer
Yeah.
a first team coach. He's a first team manager. So he manages the transfers for the first team. He manages the team. So it's considered like almost like Arsene Wenger, but a little bit lah. So um,
Hmm.
I think I would. I'm on Arteta's side on this, especially when it comes to Oba.
Hmm.
Uh, and it's not Oba. Oba is not the first player to actually
Hmm.
get that treatment. Ozil got it. Ozil, I don't know, since Emery and Arteta, there has been uh, like what's that, like a fallout between all the managers, even with Junberg also. Junberg also
Hmm.
mentioned that there are certain level of expectation you get from a club like Arsenal, and if you don't fulfill that, then you are out of it. That is Junberg before Arteta, and Arteta saying that same thing
Wow.
again. That's the minimum requirement. It's like not even he was saying in the press conference, it's a minimum requirement that you do everything I mean, it's an elite sports like, it's not like a small company
Hmm.
that you're running. We were talking about, it's an elite sport. It's everybody in the world is watching. You're a public figure in the
Hmm.
public
Hmm.
eye. Everything is public. What do you do is public. So there's certain form of expectation of discipline that is expected from you, which I don't know, I've never
Hmm.
experienced that. So probably
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
really like a huge one. Yeah, I would side on Ateta on this, because another reason also, because what I read about 2 years ago, right, when Arsene Wenger left, it seems that the whole Arsenal camp, right, the football camp, it feels like like a holiday camp. It seems, you know, and I begin to realize that's the reason where Ozil came in. Like we had all the big names coming in, and
Hmm.
like you play without any pressure. You win an FA
Hmm.
Cup, you get top four, and you make the fans happy, and that's it. And it's been happening for the past 10 years, I think.
Hmm.
So Arteta has come in and really changed that, and he has to step on people's toes, lah. Like that's the minimum requirement, discipline in terms of respecting your teammates and all. So if you don't fulfill that, then you're gone. Oba actually is not the first time. I don't know whether you have heard it before. Last year's North London derby, he was late. Somebody actually took a picture of
Hmm.
him stuck in jam in London and
Hmm.
posted, "Hey, Oba is sick." So Ateta had to, drop him during that North London derby, which we won lah.
Hmm.
So, and then Ateta also was mentioning that. They have like I thought it would bring I thought it would bring like bad vibes to the group. Like once you are exile, consider exile, right?
Yeah,
Then you
yeah,
can
yeah,
influence, like what you said. Oba is influential.
yeah.
You can influence your teammates to go against the manager and everything. Chelsea
Hmm.
has been doing it since forever. This John Terry, Lampard, and everything. If you notice, right back then, you can see a pattern where they will go against the manager one. So Oba could have done that,
Hmm.
but what I'm surprised, right? Arteta actually mentioned this in the press conference, saying that they have a group of leaders. It seems so. It's like Granit Xhaka, Lacazette,
Hmm.
Tierney, and few of them. So
Hmm.
they decided this as well, to go like Oba should sit down and he's not being in the level that he's supposed to be.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
yeah, if you ask me, I'm on Atesta's side on this, and I think he's a rookie still. I understand in terms of man management, he's still a
yeah.
rookie. Uh, but yeah, I'm on his side all the way in terms of this
Interesting,
lah, bro.
interesting.
Because it's been a long time, bro. It's been a long time since we had this like players who are underperforming, and then you come and you are the first name on the team sheet. When you are actually
Okay,
underperforming. So it's fresh. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I mean, what I want to ask you something, right? I want to ask you that. Okay, would you rather have Arteta managing Arsenal to the Champions League, or if you okay, let me rephrase the question. Would you rather have a top class manager coming in managing Arsenal right now, or would you rather just have Arteta managing Arsenal right now? Like you are
Yeah.
set, you're satisfied with
Those
Arteta.
those who are available, or those who are just whoever that it is that I wanna.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously looking at the context of like who is available. Yeah,
Who's available now?
yeah,
Uh,
like whoever who's like top managers that are available right now, right? Like I say, like a Ten Hag, right?
okay,
I would consider him as a top manager.
available. Yeah.
Yeah, available, right? So, would you consider? I mean, obviously, Ten Hag is with Ajax, but if he were to leave Ajax, in January or in the summer, would you take him or would you just have Arteta to manage Arsenal?
Uh, I would take Jose Mourinho. Joking.
What?
No, I'm just joking.
Get out of my channel, man.
Jose Mourinho is finished, man. Anyways, I'll come back to that later. Yeah, I wouldn't swap Arteta for anyone for now. Like if looking at the availability of managers, because I know what he's
Hmm.
doing. I know what he's doing, and he has his players now, and really can see because
Hmm.
looking at the players that he inherited when he first came, right? These fellas all
Hmm.
will be like have this new manager bounce and kind of thing, and then will fade off after
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah. Yeah.
looking at Arteta also, he shipped he shipped about 30 players in 2 years. Shipped
Hmm.
out 30
Hmm.
players
Yeah.
in 2 years.
Yeah.
And looking at now, right, the only player who is there during an Emery season, right, is Granit
Hmm.
Xhaka, Saka, and Lacazette.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the rest all is Arteta's this one. So I think in the next 1 year, I think I'm seeing Lacazette and Oba is they're gonna leave very soon. Um, because they're one factor is they're getting old, and
Hmm.
I think Lacaz also is not a consistent performer right now. I know he's on the run. He's on the run, like
Hmm.
playing well. The other day, who he played? Against West Ham. I was watching game against West Ham.
Hmm.
I was like, this is Lacazette or Alexis Sanchez, the way he dribbles and everything. So
Hmm.
so I know that there's gonna be a blip for him, so I don't think so he can be consistent at the top level.
Hmm.
Oba will surely leave. He's getting older as well, and it's not performing. I think his time is up lah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
now, based on availability, I'll choose stick with Arteta.
Just to stay with. Wow, so
Yeah,
interesting. That is so
yeah.
interesting, man. Like because like I mean a few probably a month ago, like you were not sure of
I
Arteta,
still on the fence now.
but
I was on the fence.
you on the
Yeah.
fence, but you rather risk it and to stick with Arteta. That's interesting.
If Conte was
But
available,
I
then
think
I would have gone for Conte lah. If you ask me
oh
1 month
man, yeah.
before the Spurs appointment, yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think with Arsenal is like you guys are doing I think you guys are playing good football. I think it's good football, but I think the he trusts the young players a lot.
yeah,
He entrusts them with such a huge game plan, and I think that's commendable. But at the same time, I feel I mean from an outsider, right? I always think that if you want to play top flight football, if you want to challenge for the title, if you want to at least play Champions League and go a little bit further, you have to make the right investment, right?
yeah,
And you have to not just play good football, you have to dominate when you play. You have
yeah.
to intimidate your rivals with the way you play and all that. And that's what I see with City and Liverpool and Chelsea
Chelsea.
sometimes. Um, but yeah, I
Poor
mean,
Chelsea.
but yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. Like Arsenal is doing something, but I can't say, I can't say right now. I mean, I would love to say that Arteta is the man for Arsenal, but I can't. I feel it's the weird feeling like he's been in the Arsenal's job for a while now, but until now you always have that that nagging feeling where you're not sure when Arteta is the
Yeah,
man. Don't you
yeah,
think
yeah,
so?
yeah. Sometimes have that. Uh, but based on purely looking at Arsenal's game, right, bro? Um, if you look at Wenger's and Emery's era, right?
Yeah.
There are certain part where there's no effort to even uh, impose like a winning mentality in the game, like when we played Crystal Palace and Brighton earlier this year. Then I was like fearing, oh man, is
Mm,
this
mm,
gonna be like
mm.
the same old Arsenal? Are we gonna go back like every time we go into a match, we go with the fear and then playing safe and
Mm.
then really no drive and no hunger, you know. So
Yeah.
I was a bit fearing when I saw the and Brighton and sorry, what match is that? Crystal Palace. Uh, but during Man United game, right? Even when we lost, uh, I was
Yeah.
kind of surprised, like how we dominated for certain periods, and that doesn't happen quite often in Old Trafford.
Mm,
Only happened, I think, last season and this season, because usually Old Trafford is a place that we hate to go, because we haven't won there since 2006. So
mm.
usually I'll see the Old Trafford. We play in Old Trafford is a very safe game and wanna comparing lap. So I still have that nagging feeling. I scared that it will like
Mm.
the same old Arsenal, will come back again. But for now, I'm trusting the process.
Arsenal and their process. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the same. Okay, let me put it this way. We had the same feeling with Oli, all right, when he first came in. But then after a while, he will go into this period of, that 5 to 6 games, where he wins every game, and then he loses again. He loses two,
Mm-mm.
3 games, and then you have the same thought like, oh, you can't win every game. You
Yeah.
give that the benefit of doubt, like, oh, you cannot win every game. And then when then he goes into that winning streak again, and then he loses a few games. And then when it happens for 3 years, then you realize that nah, he's not the man. We should move on. How long would you want to trust the process? Okay, I wouldn't say that for Arteta, because Arteta actually plays football. The Arteta actually he actually coaches his team to play good football. I could see that Arsenal, they play good football, right? But there must be some kind of timeline. There must be. It cannot be a youth project all the time, right?
Yeah.
There must be some kind of a timeline. There's some kind of a, aim or a goal. So, what would you think, like, would be the timeline for Arteta before his time is up?
Uh, I think his contract is finishing in 2023 or 2022.
Oh,
Yeah, his contract is gonna end soon. I would
oh,
say next season should be no longer a Project Youth, lah, bro. Uh,
mm,
because I don't know what I expect a marquee signing in January, but I'm not
mm,
putting too much hope on that. But because if you look at it, if you want to compete against the big teams like um, Liverpool and City and all, you need a
mm,
better competition in positions. And I'm seeing the
mm,
weakness that we have right now is our left back. Right back. Sorry, right
mm,
back. Right back Tomiyasu. If Tomiyasu goes injured, right, and then we have Cedric. And if you see the
mm,
Leeds game,
mm,
immediately 5 minutes after uh, Tomiyasu left the pitch, Cedric was exposed, and then Leeds got the penalty and they scored. So I think the level that we should aim is bigger than that. Like, like how many like who is better than Tomiyasu? That kind
yeah,
of thing.
yeah, yeah.
Like that's how City are, and left back I have no worries at all because Nuno Tavares and who's that guy? Tierney, they are quality
Tierney, yeah.
players. And then centre back, it's not much of a worry as well. Like
Mm,
because Saliba will come back. Saliba is having a solid season, I think.
mm.
Um,
Is he coming back in
like
January
I
or
don't think
what?
so. I think he's coming back next season. Um,
Next season? Okay.
yeah, and if you midfield, if you see if Granit Xhaka is off, you have Sambi Lokonga, and if you have Pate and Xhaka out, right?
Mm,
It's Lokonga and El Neni. So you don't survive with that kind of team in Champions League, or if you want to
exactly.
consistently challenge for the top four and everything. Probably we are challenging for the top four this season. We wouldn't if you don't change the team right for next season, then probably we wouldn't be challenging for top four. It's back to square one again.
Yeah.
So uh I would give a timeline that next season, lah, bro. If let's say
Mm-mm.
we have qualified for the Champions League, and
Yeah.
I hope that there's more investment in the squad because this is not a long term. It is a long term squad. I believe that all the players will improve, and all the players
Yeah.
will be world class at some point.
Mm-mm.
But it's not enough, lah. It's not enough. Sometimes you need to have both. You need to have that Chelsea business strategy a bit, like an instant
Mm,
success by a current
mm.
crop of players
Yep.
that are performing. Yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, fair. That's fair. I think, yeah, that would be the next level for Arsenal. So those of you guys who are watching us right now, make sure you guys, share your thoughts. Drop your questions, and drop a comment on the chat box. It's live, so if you comment on the live chat, we will actually read your comments and maybe discuss on the points that you are making as well. So do also smash the like button, and if you would like to, or you should, you should share the link of this channel and the link of this YouTube right now to your friends, who love football, especially Premier League football. As you know that we are a young channel, we are very new to this thing, so we really want to thank you for your support and your love, in growing this channel with us. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. Smash the like button because it helps with the YouTube algorithm. It helps to push our video, to the public. Comment and share, and turn those notifications on, so the next time when we do our live, it will notify you, right? So yeah, I mean, we were talking about Arsenal, and I didn't plan to talk about Arsenal, but since Jasmine is quite excited with what's going on with Arteta and all that. I'm sure you see how he's smiling. There's something exciting going on. I hope, I hope that they will not, continue the form that they are doing right now, and they'll slowly lose and go back to where they are, which is the mid-table. No, no, just kidding. I always hope for the best for my friend here, right? Oh, okay, guys. Let's talk about Brendan Rodgers. Okay, Brendan Rodgers. Okay, Leicester is not part of the big six in Premier League. Because we usually talk about the big six Premier League. Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal, United, City, Liverpool, all that. Um, but I want to talk about Leicester today. Okay, especially Brendan Rodgers. All right. Just want to quickly read some comments here. Edward say good evening. Yo, man. Good evening, man. It's 10:37 right now. Hope you guys don't go to sleep yet and continue to support us throughout the stream. Jovin said hello. Yo, man. Thank you for continuing to support our stream, and yeah, I mean, drop your comments and your thoughts, as we discuss, especially right now on Leicester. All right, so Jasmine, what's going on with Leicester, man? Let me just quickly go through your form, right, this season. So they played 18 games so far. They played 18 games so far, with the season, all right? And ooh, Fami is already in. Let me just quickly add him as well. Yo,
Yo, yo.
So guys, so guys.
my guy, Fami,
What's up?
man,
Hmm.
welcome on board. We were just talking about Leicester, so I'm going to read through Leicester's form. Leicester's form this
Hmm.
season. So they played 18 games. They won
Yeah.
7 games, drew 4 games, and lost
Hmm.
7 games.
747.
What kind of form is that? 747, man. Sounds
Hmm.
like some gang number, man. That one. I'm just kidding. But um, 7 wins, 4 draws, and 7 losses. What kind of form is that? How can you put that to words? Do you guys have any thoughts of Leicester right now? What's happening to them? They just beat City. I mean, they just beat Liverpool. Sorry, not City.
I I don't know, man. I mean, maybe the Rogers strain has stalled to me. After
Hmm.
they've secured Champions League under him once, and then until once or twice I don't remember,
Twice, I
and
think.
then they twice, and then they won the FA Cup, right? Won the FA Cup, but the problem I think is Vardy lah, because Vardy cannot play every game now. You know, Vardy has been very very instrumental for them, and then they have like quite a number of injuries to their big players, right? If I'm not mistaken, like your Johnny Evans,
Hmm.
your
Yep. Quite a
what's the
number.
name of the midfield? What's the name of the midfield? The defensive midfield?
NDD,
DD.
Ndidi, yeah, Ndidi,
Talisman,
Ndidi. Yeah,
Talisman, and all these guys.
Tielemans is still
This one
there.
is
I
still
think
playing.
he's still playing, but Ndidi is actually their enforcer lah, in the middle. So when
Mm.
when you don't control the midfield, then then basically you're done lah. Basically, correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if Ndidi and the other top, I mean their best players can stay fit, maybe they can start to climb up lah. But if not, I don't think so lah. Maybe top 10 lah, top 10. Hmm. Vardy
Top
is a big
10,
issue
huh?
lah.
Leicester.
Vardy is a big issue lah, because Vardy, yeah, he's been scoring for them a lot, right? So important goals, etc. And then he's like what, 34 now, 35,
Mm.
34, 35. So
Mm.
and Rogers did state that he cannot play 2 games in a week. That's what Rogers said. So yeah, lah, it's they need to find the balance lah, whenever Vardy is not playing. So what can they do? So basically, I think Rogers is trying to find trying to find the the puzzle to it lah. I think
Mm.
last season, I think Vardy played quite a lot still, but only this season that he said that. Yeah, I remember Rogers said this season that he cannot play twice a week anymore. So yeah, even if you see their Europa League campaign is also not good. If you remember, this season they
Yeah.
were they
It's
they
not
got
good.
third.
Yeah.
They
They're out,
got
right?
third. They
They are
out. They
out,
got
I
third
think.
Mm.
out, and then they got third and third or fourth. I don't know, but I think they're in the conference league. I'm not so sure lah.
Yeah, they're in the
But
conference.
yeah, like few seasons back, like last season, they did quite well in the Europa League, if I remember.
Mm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because Vardy is playing in the league and then playing in the Europa and then playing in the league again and playing in the Europa. Now, if you
Yeah.
see every Europa game that they play, Vardy is not playing basically. So
Mm.
somebody else will play, maybe Patson Daka or Ayoze Perez, those type
Yeah.
of people lah. So Vardy is just focused on the EPL. So and then he also has some injuries as well. And then plus
Mm.
this COVID and stuff, you don't know who's getting COVID, who's not getting. If you're getting COVID, you have to. I mean, you have to quarantine for 10 days, and then in
Mm.
about 10 days, maybe you can do something at home, like maybe you can do some fitness thing at home, but you need the physical training, physicality, lah, kan. So 10 games actually, if you tak main 10 games, you will hilang lah. You will lose some of the edge lah. Same to other sports as well lah. The same lah. I think. I mean, if you play futsal also, if you don't play one week, the next week if you play, you rasa a bit tak betul. And
Mm.
then same with a lot of, like for me lah. I'm playing golf, right? So if I don't play once a week,
Mm.
then my game will be shaky lah. And then golf you have driving range, and then you have the padang. So for me, I need to go at least once a week to the range, and then once a week to the padang lah, so that they maintain
Mm.
the ni lah. So I think banyak issues lah yang not just Leicester. I think a lot of teams having this lah. Because of COVID recently, COVID has
Yeah.
affected, like
Yeah.
United also affected, like crazy number of people cannot train. They have to shut down their quarantine training center, etc. Yeah,
Yeah.
a pity lah. So yang lucky, the people who are lucky, like they have always have their first team players all the time. And then, okay, one thing to have first team players, and then you have this,
Mm.
you need to have your sub as well, because you need to rotate, because the current league, you play you play twice a week, right now. So you need to rotate, you need to freshen things up. Like, okay, like for instance, I'm saying about Arsenal. Okay, Arsenal
Yeah.
have minimal COVID punya issues lah, except for recently Arteta got COVID, right? So but
Yeah,
but
man.
the players are the same. If you see, week in, week out, it's the same. If they don't start, they will be on the bench. And so the rhythm is there, etc. So yeah.
Mm.
That's my thought on it lah.
Yeah. I mean, like, how I think less for Leicester. I think finally, I think Rogers. I don't know lah. Huh? I'll just put it bluntly. I think finally the Rogers has lost his ideas lah, on how to maintain. They call it the Premier League fraud watch. There's a fraud watch,
Mm.
like those who they have a hype in the beginning, and
Mm.
then after a while, right, you expose them. But I think for Brandon, he's not a fraud lah. He's a good manager. He's a good coach. He's also a good man manager. And then his integration with the recruitment in Leicester, they're all top class. But I think with Brendan Rodgers is I think there is no next level to his game. I think that's his game. I mean, if you see Leicester, they have an identity, and they've been playing that game all through ever since Brendan Rodgers has been managing them. They not much of a tweaks, like no tweaks in his game, just the same thing. I know they rely on Vardy and Tillsman, a lot of
No,
individual
yeah,
brilliance. Um,
yeah,
and
and I mean,
but
you
mm,
need to rely on your top players lah. Obviously, kan. You need to rely on your spine. Your
yeah,
spine. If your spine not there, it's quite difficult. Like any other team lah,
mm,
except for Pep lah. So I'm gonna say lah. Pep basically
yeah,
has no spine. Basically, everybody is a spine. You understand? That? Do you
yeah,
understand what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
everybody fits well wherever on the pitch. It's
Yep.
yeah. That's that's a very good coach there lah.
It's okay. I've got a question. Like, would you think that Brandon Rodgers is a better coach than Arteta? Jasmine lah, Jasmine.
Yes.
You say lah.
Okay.
Why don't you share your
Okay, Jasmine.
thoughts?
Jasmine, you go first. Yeah.
I couldn't say lah. I can't say lah, bro. Because Arteta, right? It's belum, haven't ripe yet. That's what I'm seeing. So in
Mm.
this case, right, I would say Brendan Rodgers, based on experience and what he has achieved, right? I would say
Hmm.
Brendan Rodgers is a better coach.
Mm.
But what he's experiencing right now is, I think, is similar to what happened to Liverpool. It's like either post failure season, like how like that post failure season syndrome, that kind of thing. Like I feel like although they won the FA Cup, slightly missing out on the Champions League probably rocked them a bit lah.
Mm.
And it happened in Liverpool as well, because the season before, right, they were challenging for the title with City. You remember the
Okay.
Gerrard sleep one, right? It was Brendan
Yeah,
Rodgers.
yeah,
So
that's right.
right after that, Suarez left, and all
Hmm.
these, I think probably the failure to win the title, right, kind of creeped in into the team. And the next season, they actually didn't even qualify for the Champions League, and they actually kind of like they didn't even go to the round of 16. So I think it's that type of syndrome that has crept in Leicester, although they won the FA Cup and everything else. But I think Champions League means much more to them. And I think it's happened twice in a row with Man United. Last season Man United got second, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think last season Man United got second. I think it was Chelsea. Chelsea was drawing, and then they lost against Man United. So if they won the game, right, they could have gone for the Champions League, and Chelsea would have finished fifth.
Yeah, correct. Because
So
I remember that game, Lingard scored, I think, the second goal. So
yeah. So and then the
City on
season
Leicester
before
Street.
it's yeah, and the season before happened as well, where
Yep.
down the wire lah, towards the end of the
Yep.
season.
Yep.
So I think
Yep.
it's that syndrome lah. So in terms of motivating the players, he lacks that, I guess. Because Scottish League, no pressure lah, bro. I feel. You send Eddie Howe also, you can win a championship there lah. So yeah,
Yeah, Eddie Howe is a good coach, man. Come on.
yeah,
He's a coach. Yeah, he's a
But yeah,
coach.
I totally agree with Jasmine lah. My views are the same as Jasmine
Hmm.
because Arteta
Hmm.
baru lagi kan, so belum cukup time untuk kita evaluate properly. But so far tengok macam ni lah, so-so lah, you know. Because suddenly now they are starting to pick up form, you know. They pick up form.
Yeah.
And then their performance also merit the form because they have been performing quite well. We need to see whether they can sustain that lah against the big team, because after this they're playing against City or Liverpool, I think.
Yeah, City. Against City.
City. So to me, for that game, I think one loss lah, easily lah. You know, because I mean City is just a different animal there. So I want to see how Arsenal cope with that lah. If they can give a good fight, or not like earlier in the season, and also not like the games against Liverpool. You know? So if they can give a good fight, then maybe Arteta is onto something lah. You know. Brandon, again, like you said, Brendan Rodgers, yeah. I mean, I kesian juga dekat, you know, because one thing is to motivate players, and another thing is actually you don't have your players, you don't have your spine to actually perform week in, week out. Susah. I mean, a lot of teams will be affected like, if your top players tak ada kan, betul lah. Liverpool affected bila Van Dijk tak ada. Gila-gila.
Yeah.
So same like you said about the one that Gerrard sleep. Okay, Gerrard sleep, yang tu tak boleh buat apa lah, itu Gerrard sleep. You tak boleh salahkan Brendan kat situ kan. So and then but the game that they missed out actually in that season, I remember clearly because they played Crystal Palace away.
Yeah.
If they won that game, if they won that game, then actually against City there's no pressure. I mean, no, against Chelsea there's no pressure already. You know, you just have to contain. So because that game, I remember I watched it first half, Liverpool 3-0. I said okay lah, settle lah, Liverpool menang league lah, kan? And then Leicester made a comeback 3-3, and then at final whistle, Suarez was crying. You see,
Yeah.
And then next season, Suarez ciao, you know. Suarez ciao is it's a big shoe to fill, you know, because Suarez scored a lot, assists a lot, and you know the link up between Suarez, Sturridge, Sterling.
The link up. Yeah.
The link up between Sturridge,
It's mad.
the SSS they call it. So the triple S.
Yeah.
So their link up, and then continue behind. You know, it's and then you break one part of it, you break one of the puzzle, and then it's hard to get it back again. You know.
Yeah.
And then yeah, because I think the morale of the team, the morale of the team after they see Suarez go, everybody just the morale will just go down. Like even you as a teammate, if you see your friend Suarez, he's the best player in the club, and then he just go, and then you also what's going to happen, man? Now and then who did they bought?
They bought, I think
Who
that
they bought?
season somebody they bought, I think Markovic or something, I think.
They bought Markovic or they bought Benteke or who?
Benteke,
I don't remember.
Benteke, Balotelli also came.
Balotelli, yeah. So it's just it's not apple to apple lah. You see, it's not apple to apple. Suarez is Suarez, you know. You need to find someone who is that caliber, not totally the same, but to find someone who is that good and replace, and then to integrate into the team is quite tough lah. And then once you tak berjaya nak integrate, the players will start to question you what's happening, blah blah blah, and then the form will start to go down lah. You know, I think same with Leicester now lah. I think, you know, the best managers always.
Yeah, go ahead. You were saying?
Sorry, the best managers will always have a solution, even if their best players are not there lah. They will find a way to actually. That is the mark of a best player. I mean, best coach lah. I think I put Brendan Rodgers as the tier 3 lah of coaches, not number 2 lah. Tier 3 somewhere.
Macam this one lah. Macam he is the apa ni? The tier 3. He's not the Fabrizio Romano lah of the Football Insider. He's actually at the lower.
Bukan.
He's such a
This indie
ITKPL.
Kaila, bro.
Indie Kaila. Bro, Indie Kaila is a true fraud lah. I think he got banned or something on Twitter. Huh?
He's
Yeah.
Is he
like
still on Twitter?
tier 7 or what, bro? Come on, bro.
The guy he
Dia
works
dia
for KFC lah.
hey
Yeah,
bro.
that's right.
Hey bro, dia tiru tweet orang celaka betul.
Yeah, dia tiru je.
Ah.
Bangga the guy.
Bagus
Anyway,
lah.
so I want to ask you, okay, do you think, okay, so now Leicester is winning, right? I mean, they're not winning; they just won against Liverpool, so massive confidence boost. So if
Yes,
they
yes.
were to just win another match, and then let's say they go on a consecutive loss again, like 2 to 3 losses, because that seemed to be their pattern, right?
Mm-mm.
They win few games and then they go into a loss, a few games, and all that. Do you think Leicester will sack Brendan Rodgers?
Yes. Yes.
Hmm,
And maybe not
interesting.
now, maybe end of the season.
I
Because for me,
okay,
Brendan Rodgers,
yeah,
I, I've never seen him bounce back from
yeah. Okay, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
yeah, betul. See, because he always comes and then he has forms, and then when the form starts to dip, and then he somehow one step forward, two steps back, something like that. So I tak nampak lagi, I tak pernah tengok lagi Brendan Rodgers come up on the other side lah, So if the form continues, then a serious question has to be asked lah,
Because, but honestly, right, like I feel like in terms of available managers and for Leicester's level, Brendan Rodgers is still the best manager available.
Betul,
If you
betul.
get what I
Yeah.
mean, right?
Actually betul. But it depends on what the board wants lah. I think the board wants actually every season, European competition every season. This season, Liverpool, City. Okay, start with City. City, Chelsea, Liverpool, United, Arsenal, Spurs. 6 already. That's done. Your Champions League and Europa done. Correct or not? Confirm
Yeah,
ni lah top 6. I would say this is the top 6 lah. This is the top 6. Cuma now number 3 until number 6 tu kita tak tahu lagi. Because Chelsea pun shaky sikit, So
That's right. That's right.
you don't know. But okay, and then from number 7 to number 10 you have like your West Ham, you have your siapa lagi? What's the table like now?
Crystal Palace.
Seven is Manchester United, bro.
Oh yeah,
Wolves,
but who is the top 10 now?
Leicester. Yeah, Leicester. Wolves at number 8, Leicester number 9, Brighton number 10, Crystal Palace 11.
Sekejap, let me open. Okay, you have your West Ham, you have your Wolves.
Yeah, Wolves. West Ham is number 5, right? Yeah, and then United.
Yeah.
Quite
And
tough,
then,
it's quite tough lah. So maybe the board wants them to actually qualify for Champions League. Yeah, of course lah. But the next best thing is actually Europa lah, not the Conference League. So I don't think Leicester can get the Europa spot lah. So if he cannot get the Europa spot, then he's done.
that'd be interesting.
Doesn't
It'd be
matter lah
interesting
if
to
you
see.
You know
You know what would happen? I think it's going to happen like this. If they sack Brendan Rodgers, right? You know who's going to come in? Jose Mourinho, bro.
I feel
Bro, the guy
Jose
loves the
Mourinho,
Premier
Rafa
League, man.
Benitez under one umbrella lah, bro. They are finished lah.
They love the Premier League, bro. They will do anything to come back to the Premier League.
Okay.
They will.
I love Mourinho lah, bro. I like him.
I know you love Mourinho.
Yeah, he
I
gives
know you do.
he gives entertainment.
They
lah.
drama, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, best, hey. That's the nice thing about
Box office.
That's the best
It's
thing about it.
box office.
Box office, yes. So it makes it more interesting.
Yeah, but I must say that that I think the Premier League is seeing one of the top flight managers at in real time right now, because you have Conte, you have Tuchel, then you have all these guys, Pep, Klopp, Eddie
Mm.
Howe, all the top guys are all in the same league, at the same time. So it's a good thing, lah. It's a good thing. So I mean, Leicester. For me, if I were to, if I'm a Leicester's fan, if I'm a Leicester fan, right? I think the best I could do is really to stick. I mean, to support lah, stick with the manager till the end of the season, and then only look at options lah. Like because I think he's really the best guy for the job as of now. But there's another guy, right?
Mm.
There's another guy who is similar to him, right? Who is actually managing Celtics right now. Similar to Brendan Rodgers. Rodgers used to manage Celtic, right? I think Celtic, right, last time.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Celtic.
but you see, if you see this one guy, well, let me just Google his name. Um, he's actually an Aussie manager. Um, he's something like Brendan Rodgers as well. His name is Angi Postecoglou. Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys have heard of him before, but he managed to get them a cup, recently. Celtic. So he's quite a top flight rising manager. He's very similar to Brendan Rodgers. So those are the kind of managers that I think Leicester should aim lah. I think they would aim. I think they should just move away from the Premier League managers, all these Rafa Benitez and all these guys. Move away, go to another. Like what, like how Hasenhüttl is. A German manager, someone not from the Premier League. Go and move away and get a fresh manager from a different league who can also play competitive football. I think that would be ideal for them, because if they were to go in that cycle, keep hiring those Premier League managers who didn't really make it, I think they will become another Everton and one of those. You see what Aston Villa did? They went and hired
Yeah,
Steven Gerrard, who did well with Rangers, which is from a different league, and you see what are they doing now. But you see how Norwich City is doing. They are not good, because they're going to hire what's his name.
Dean
Um,
Smith.
yeah,
Is it
Dean
Dean
Smith.
Smith?
Yeah, yeah.
Dean
This
Smith,
Smith.
yeah. Of all person, Dean Smith. I mean, I know they did quite kind of well with United, but they can't sustain it, because they go through that. They recycle their managers within the Premier League. So yeah, those are my thoughts lah for Leicester. Yep.
Mm.
Um, let's move on to. I want to talk about the top four, but I want to keep that for a bit later. Jovin. So Jovin, say, how did Spurs given get in top six? Why? Spurs quite
I
good
think
one
they were right
now,
in the mix, lah. I think even though in the bad patch, right, they were right in the mix. So Conte came in now.
bro. Conte,
Uh,
man.
yeah,
Conte is doing
but I
his
think
thing,
he
man.
has a lot of work to do, lah, bro. I can see.
No,
Uh,
actually,
Okay.
quite okay lah. Mm.
yeah,
Do you think it's a
In
manager bounce right now? Do you think it's a
no, no,
manager's
no,
bounce right now
no,
with
no,
Spurs?
no. Because before,
Why?
I mean, when he came in, the form was not good. You
mm-mm.
know, when he
Mm,
came in, and then a few games they were not playing that well. Now currently they're playing quite okay lah. Because I think Conte managed to get a tune out of Harry Kane actually.
Mm.
He now basically managed to get a tune out of Harry Kane. So everything is fine now lah.
mm,
Harry
mm,
Winks
mm,
It's
also
mm.
is
not
playing well the other day. I was watching their match.
like you're saying
Oh
about
yeah,
managers bounce, like managers bounce. United tak ada apa manager bounce.
don't have,
Tak ada.
don't have.
Maybe tak ada. So it's going to get worse before it gets better. Like Spurs punya situation, it just got worse a little bit only, and then it just went up. Currently, they're
Mm,
going quite well,
mm,
quite okay lah. But again, Spurs, if their spine is injured, then susah lah. Because Spurs punya bench
mm, mm,
is just crap you know.
Yeah,
It's not like second team, third
mm.
team. It's like fourth team, I think. So it's so bad lah. Because if you see them play in the Conference League, teruk bro, teruk gila
Yep,
bro. Hmm.
yep. I think with I mean that's to ans- I mean Spurs is already. I agree with you guys lah. Spurs is already in the mix, but the thing
Yeah, yeah.
is, but the thing with Spurs is like you suddenly, I mean, I'm not sure if you guys caught the game. Spurs were with Spurs against
So
Crystal
so
Palace. I think the last
no,
game,
I
I
didn't.
think Spurs
Last
versus
game was
Crystal
against
Palace.
Southampton. Before that was Crystal
Southampton.
Palace.
Crystal
Yeah, yeah.
Palace, right? Crystal Palace. Yeah,
Mm,
Southampton they
mm.
drew. Right? I think it was just yesterday or something like that.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Against Crystal Palace. Wow, their tempo is like times five, man. Now.
Mm.
Um, and it's quite surprising for me. Like, wow, these guys used to jog around the field, no? All these wings, all Mura, all these guys used to like just jog around, Kane, they just go for a nice pitch jog. But now, you could see them like really running for the teammates, and they are playing. You wouldn't say it's like very top like good football, but they are very aggressive now. So it's you could
Okay
see
lah.
that the
Yeah.
Conte's vibe, the Conte's
Mm,
vibe is really, you could see that. So that's why all the journalists are all saying that you could see Conte in them right now. Like his
mm,
personality
mm,
is now is being
mm.
personified lah in the way they are playing. So that is quite,
Yeah.
it's very impressive to see. Very impressive. Yeah. So Conte was the man for United lah, but he went to Spurs. So yeah lah. It's our loss lah.
I think
But
I think
anyway,
it's
I mean,
I think it's okay lah. I mean, because we got Raf now, because and then Raf will move on
yeah,
into
of course.
another role, right? So that is even more critical lah. So I'm quite okay with that lah.
Me too, me too. Yeah, likewise. Me
Mm.
too. Right. Okay, yeah. So we wanted to actually talk about talk about top four, but I was saying like, we should keep the top four later because I think top four is very interesting right now.
Itu last
But
kali lah, last kali.
itulah sekali lah. I want to talk about
Mm.
Grealish, man. I want to talk about what's happening with Jack Grealish. Okay, I know
Okay.
Grealish is Fami's favorite player, but before Fami you share your thoughts, maybe can hear from Jasmine. Jasmine doesn't really talk about Grealish. Maybe he doesn't like Grealish. Um, Jasmine, what do you think is happening with Grealish? Like, I mean, Grealish amongst Bernardo Silva, Foden, Sterling, like Kevin De Bruyne, all this. How do you think he's doing? How do you think he's doing? Like performing so far?
For me, right, I know that Grealish is a 100 million player, like supposed to be a blockbuster player, but I feel like in City, right, he's just an input. Like he's not a player that will change the face of the team. But knowing Pep, right, of what he did to Sterling and what he did to a lot of players, right, I think he will be that player because if you see the qualities they have in City, right, it's almost as good as Grealish. Grealish is almost like everybody is on par with him. Like there's
Yeah.
Sterling, Mahrez. If you see Mahrez, how he plays against with Leicester and City, right?
Ooh.
So it's totally like a totally different player. So I would
Hmm.
say Grealish in City is like an input. Like everybody is performing. Like Bernardo Silva is performing. Cancelo is
Hmm.
performing. But whereas in Aston Villa he carried the team, so that's why it looked like this guy
Hmm.
means business. So from you are coming from probably a bottom half or mid table. Not were they in bottom half? Right, almost like relegated bottom half
Sort
team
of.
and coming to
Hmm.
a Premier League champion team, right? A
Hmm.
Premier League winners team. So you're just an input, but I believe that it's not his end lah. It's not his end. Pep has
Hmm.
his magic that will come lah. Then he will come good lah. That's what I feel.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. For me.
Grealish,
Hmm.
he's not the alpha male anymore lah. You know.
Mm.
Before this, he was the go-to guy. He can do whatever he wants. He's the
Hmm.
star player. And then he went to City with 100 million check. He and then with some sort they did some sort of a player presentation thingy.
Hmm.
They presented the Grealish to the fans, something like that lah. So
Hmm.
maybe he thought he was that alpha male lah, but no way lah. City,
Yeah.
like I said lah, because City, everybody is actually the spine. So if you don't like, if you say Grealish and Bernardo Silva, I think Bernardo Silva is even better lah. You know, but you
Mm,
see how hard does Bernardo Silva work off the ball? If
mm,
you
Yeah.
see, crazy man. Uh, and then actually the issue with Grealish actually is just a discipline punya thing lah. When people say do not go out because of COVID blah blah blah, and then he went out, you know, dia sudah langgar the peraturan lah kan. So that's why
mm,
sudah kena lah sekarang ni. So and then I think it's hard lah for from you as an alpha male, your ego must be very very high lah at Aston Villa, and then suddenly go to a team, and then you're just one of the guys, you know, you're not
mm,
the
mm,
go-to guy anymore. So it's a transition that is very very hard lah, you know. Yeah, he needs to cope with that, and then he needs Pep lah actually to help him with that lah. You know, I mean, Pep
mm,
will know what to do lah. Pep will just put someone at the bench for quite some time, and he suddenly unleash. Tengok lah nanti.
Mm.
It's always like that. He does that with Sterling as well. Sterling was crap earlier in the season, so bad he wanted to leave and all, and then
mm,
suddenly Pep just unleashed him, and he's scoring bags of goals now. You know,
Mm.
so
mm.
we'll see lah. We'll see lah what's going to happen lah. But I think he's going to come good lah. It's just that the mental side to gonna to cost it. He is still a
Yeah.
he's still a good player lah. He's still an excellent player lah to me.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so with Grealish, okay, like what you guys say, right? Like Jasmine said, like he carried the team in Aston Villa. For me, you were saying like how he thought that he was that guy, right? And then he was the
Mm.
alpha male, and then for him to come to City, then it changes, right?
Mm.
Um, I've been actually I'm a fan of Jack Grealish, right? I'm also a fan of Jack Grealish.
Mm.
Oh, he's playing a different game right now, man. In City, he's playing a completely different game right now in City. He's in fact, right, he is playing a very passive game in City. A very passive and a very macam good enough game. You get what I mean? Like I'll just play to just qualify myself for the next game kind of game. You know,
Okay,
that kind of
okay,
performance where I'll just take the
okay.
ball
Mm.
and
Mm.
then I'll just pass. I just do
Mm.
Mm.
a few meter, 5 meter pass to
Mm.
Foden. That's it.
Mm.
That's what he
Mm.
does the whole game.
Mm.
Whereas if you compare him to what he did with Aston Villa, right, bro, the kind of things he did in Aston Villa is magnificent. Like you could see he bossed the midfield. He could boss the flank, the midfield.
Mm.
He did a lot of
Mm.
things. And obviously, when Pep bought him, he saw that quality, right? He didn't just buy Grealish because Grealish could actually do a 5 meter pass to Foden. You get
No,
me or
no,
not? I
no.
mean, if
Mm.
right,
Yeah.
he bought Grealish because Grealish has the quality to do something and to impact. But I've been observing Grealish now for a few games. You know, I actually watch City games because of Grealish. I want to see how he's doing in Champions League and all that. Um, and not to say like the pressure is on him. I know there is a pressure because of the 100 million press tag, but I also think that he's a good player and he should carry on to be that good player. But I'm also thinking like maybe he's intimidated with the system, or the system is not suiting him to bring him to that level where he can do what he did. You get me? Not to have that impact, same impact, or am I thinking it in a wrong way? You get me? Not like his impact is so minimal right now in City. In fact, he gets subbed off after a while. If you guys
Mm.
watch City games, right? Macam
Mm.
50th minute, 60th minute, he gets subbed off because the impact is not there. Like the next level is not there
Mm.
for City. So when City, they bring in like Mahrez and all these guys, right? KDB, even then
Mm.
Pep try to change a bit of the formation. He brings
Mm.
out Grealish. Then you see suddenly the game goes to another level. Then you realize
Mm.
like, hey, actually Grealish is playing a bare minimum, man. Like he's playing that basic game. He's just taking the ball, then he makes a few meter pass. Takes the ball,
Mm.
then he releases the ball.
Mm.
So, is this the Grealish that Pep is expecting? Or is just merely because this is his first season?
Mm, I Okay, I'll give an example of Mares lah. Mares when he first Mares at Leicester, the way that Leicester plays always on the counter.
Mm.
If you remember, and then Mares at Leicester is the dribbler. He's a dribbler. He holds on to the ball for quite some time lah, selalunya. But and then now if you see after he's like what 3 4 years already into his City punya career, you see now he's a totally different kind of player. He's not that he's not that guy
Yeah.
who actually holds on to the ball for a longer time. He always
Mm.
and then City the way that City plays, Pep doesn't like someone to hold the ball for that long. Just one, just
That's true.
yeah. Because when you see City plays, if you pass a lot, you make the opposition move lah.
Mm.
Correct. You make the
Mm.
opposition move with the ball. So when you do that, one lapse in concentration, there will be space. So
Yeah.
Grealish at Aston Villa is the same as Mahrez at Leicester.
Hmm.
To me, that's what I think. So he
Okay.
always gets the ball. He always dribbles. He always holds on to the ball. People just let him do whatever he wants to do. Sorry lah, dekat City tak boleh bro. You
Hmm.
cannot do that. You cannot do that. I mean, you cannot just take the ball and just go on your solo run. No, because that's
Mm.
how City plays lah. City is always about the team first. It's not some one player, outstanding player. No. Okay,
Yeah.
I tell you now, City. Who is the outstanding player? I think there's a lot of outstanding players now at City. Correct or not? Some okay,
Mm.
like if you see like Liverpool, who is the outstanding? Salah. That's it. Correct or not?
Mm.
Salah is the
Mm.
top player now. I mean, because of him, that's why Liverpool are there. If for City,
Mm.
who can you say that is on the same level as Salah in terms of impact, the team punya impact though?
Every like a lot of them.
Yeah, City is actually everybody. It's not like
Mm.
just Salah say impact. No, City is like
Yeah.
everybody. So it's always about the team. If the team plays this way, then Grealish has to adapt lah. Grealish just has to adapt. Like he needs to change his way. I mean, that skill that he has can be used at a certain time, but not all the
Mm.
time. Like
Yeah.
at Villa, he can use that all the time because Villa also is
Mm.
not like
Mm.
a under Disney also Villa is not like a possession based team pun banyak counter je sebenarnya. So
Mm. Mm. Mm.
so
Mm. Mm.
so I think he needs to balance. He needs to try to find find the the median lah to say tengah-tengah tu. He needs to
Mm.
he cannot always hear me. He cannot do what he does as a Villa anymore lah, all the
Yeah.
time.
Hmm.
That's what I think
Unless,
lah.
well, what do you think? Yeah.
I mean, Pep
I
will
hear
not
you. Yeah.
Pep will not adapt that guy into his system and then change his system because of Grealish. No,
Yeah.
you have to come and
Mm.
you have to play this type of football. If you cannot, you sit in the bench. You sit on the
Yeah.
bench. That's it.
I think
Bernardo
that's
Silva. Bernardo Silva can
Mm.
dribble from. I think Bernardo Silva, if you give him the ball, he can dribble from the goalkeeper up into the ends. But
Yeah.
he doesn't. But he doesn't. He always pass. Because when you pass, you create space. When you pass, the opposition moves. When the opposition move, the structure will not be there, and then they will create some more space for them to exploit. That's what I think. That's how I think City plays.
Mm. I
Mm.
think I remember Thierry Henry was telling when he was playing under Guardiola. I think like what Fahmi pointed out. Guardiola will give the freedom once in a while. It seems in the final
Mm.
third he will give the freedom, but when you don't like kind of like follow what he instructs you during one certain period of a time, then you're done lah. So what happened was Thierry Henry was playing in a position that he was supposed to play, and there was freedom
Mm.
like for Samuel Eto'o, Messi, and him. When they reach the final third, there are certain period of time they'll give a period of freedom. And got one time he did mention that instead of staying at the left wing, he went to the right wing,
Mm.
and then Guardiola immediately sub him out on the 68th minute.
Oh.
So so he's that type of person lah. So it's like no matter how good you are, if you don't follow my system, then you're out lah. So yeah, I would agree with
I hear
Fahmi
that.
on this.
I hear that. But okay, here my point is basically like if Grealish were to actually excel in his position, right? He has to find a way to actually still inject his flavor. Like Grealish still must inject his flavor, okay, while not just
Sorry,
while
guys. Sorry.
maintaining while maintaining the system. You get what I mean, not like he still need to he cannot just run away with the bare minimum. you know
Mm,
he must do something more because eventually I understand that eventually maybe Peck will do his magic and Grealish will go to the next level and all that, but as a player himself, Grealish, he must think and say, hey, you know what, he definitely would know that currently he's just doing the bare minimum, which is just doing the pass and that's it. But for him to actually compete places, to be competitive, I tell you, he needs to bring his flavor in. He doesn't need to dribble, like he doesn't need to like show or showboat or do something like crazy or what. But in terms of movement, off ball movement, in terms of creating chances, which what Foden does, like Foden doesn't dribble all the time, but Foden's movement is unbelievable. Like Sterling's
Mm.
movement is unbelievable. Like the way they
Mm.
find spaces, in the quick glance,
That's
hilang.
that is actually what Grealish is lacking now.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm.
So I think that for him, because okay, honestly, I think the reason why Pep is actually playing Grealish is because of the price tag. I mean, let's be honest. I think they paid quite a bit of money for him.
I
Pep
don't
said,
think
you
so,
know
lah,
what?
bro.
Is it? For
It's
me,
a good
right?
statement, bro.
I
Mm.
okay. I mean, I hear the idea of like Pep has his reasons, but I think for me is because he bought him. This is his first season, Grealish playing. He's going to give Grealish that time to perform and to expose himself. And also the price tag is huge, all right? And if he doesn't play him, the Khalidun guy is good. I think the City boss is going to come after Pep and say, "Hey, we paid quite a lot of money for him. Where is he?" You know. So that is my view, lah. Like of course, honestly, right, Pep actually can take the easy way, The easy way is not play Grealish. He impacts the game immediately. He plays Mahrez, he plays the Foden, and he plays KDB and all these guys. And they could win the game easily. But because he plays Grealish, right, if you realize, the game actually slows down a bit. And there's like a stumbling block. He's not doing anything bad, Grealish is not doing anything bad, but it's just mundane. It's just basic, nothing much. And then when he subs Grealish off, then suddenly you see the game is much better.
Mm.
But that's my view. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Fami, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Pep wants a player to actually be comfortable first with his system.
Hmm.
Okay, you be comfortable first with system, and then all the trickery, all the stardust will actually come later when you actually confident lah with how the team is playing and how you're playing. So that's what I think lah. Because and then you say because Khaldun might say, hey, 100 million, blah blah blah, you have to play this guy. And I don't think Pep is that kind of manager. Like, you don't disturb me lah in what I do. You know, it's up to me to actually pick the team. Actually, now there's no pressure for him to play Grealish Pun because City is at the top of the table with 6 points cap. You know, they are performing
Hmm.
quite well without Grealish Pun. So why? I I don't think that's the case lah. But yeah lah. Again, on Grealish, yeah, he's an exceptional talent. But firstly, like you said, actually, like you said just now, you said that whenever he plays, he slows the game slow down whenever he gets the ball because he
Hmm.
holds the ball quite long and he is not that quick enough for him. I mean, you get what I mean? I mean, he's not
Yep.
quick, he's not confident yet, he's not assimilate quite well yet into the system lah. But that thing will take some time lah because from someone who is actually do whatever you want at Villa, impact the game in his way. Somehow now you go to a team where there's a lot of other superstars, but this all superstars is not like your Neymar, it's not like your Mbappe. These superstars actually work as a team. It's just like Bayern lah, just like Bayern.
Mm, mm,
A lot of star player, everybody chip in, so he has to actually come into the team, play how Pep wants, and then I think
mm,
only he will once he gets that confidence, and then only he will sprinkle the stardust will come lah. That one is actually second nature. Actually, you don't have to actually, this at this moment I want to do this. No, 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 no. That will come later when you have confidence. It will naturally come lah. That's what I think lah. Now he's just playing like that because I think the confidence is quite low lah, because he doesn't get picked every week. He doesn't have
mm,
actually a proper place, a proper position in the team. Correct or not? He doesn't have a proper position.
mm, mm.
Mm-mm. Yeah, that's what I think lah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree on that. So because I think, yeah, I mean, 100%, man. Because we, I mean, how to say, like, imagine, Kane, right? Imagine if they bought Kane, and
Mm.
then Kane is not scoring goals. Okay, then you realize, like, wow, I think there will be more pressure on Kane. Okay, let's say same price, Kane 100 million, Grealish 100 million, but the pressure on Kane would have been even more immense. Let's say Kane
Yeah. Mm.
lost his form,
Mm.
all right, but playing in City, okay, tapi tak score goals. Cancelo is the one scoring all the goals. um, but Kane is not scoring goals, all right. So people would
Mm.
have been
Mm.
going crazy on Kane, like, oh, Kane, what happened to you? What's happened to your form? But Kane is just passing, and he's missing all the chances. So the same when if you see in Grealish is actually missing chances, honestly, and missing certain passes that you should have done. Then you could see some of his teammates are like, hey, you should have done that pass. But I think the pressure is not really big on him because City has a lot of alternatives. But it would have been different, if Kane was in the same place. Like Kane was actually purchased for 100 million and he was a striker. But if he was not doing the goal scoring and all that, I think the pressure would have been crazy on Kane. So that's why I say, like, there is a different expectation lah. I guess if it was a striker or if he was a attacking midfielder or in the role you play. So I was just having
Mm.
this train of thoughts. Yep.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Mm-mm.
You don't have to actually, like for me lah. You don't actually have to score goals in order for you to play well. That's why I
Yeah,
mean, you
that's
can you
true.
can you can play well without scoring. So
Mm.
that nowadays goals and assists is the benchmark lah. If you score, then you play well. But actually, if you look on the eye test, like, okay, I'll give you an example lah.
Mm.
Bruno Fernandes, he's been scoring a lot, he's been assisting a lot. But does he
Mm.
play well? No. Correct or not? Correct or not? He's being
Yeah, of course.
he's being he is being
Oh man, it's
he's
so
being
bad.
stat
Yeah.
he's been bad for like 1 year, 1.5 years, I think. He's been stat padding with penalties. Now when the penalties are dried up, he's basically nothing, you know. So
Mm.
but yeah, again, yeah, I understand when you say if Kane comes in instead of Grealish, then the pressure will be even greater on Kane lah. Yeah, because Kane is a goal scorer machine lah kan.
Mm.
So kalau tak
Mm.
score, obviously lah the pressure will come. But I think if he plays well, then lah again, if he plays well, the other will come lah. The goals will come and all those things like that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And Kane is regaining his form, man. Like
Yep,
he
yep,
suddenly he
yep,
has like some kind of motivation. I think
yep, yep.
Kane. I mean, Conte is he's giving him that Monday morning motivation to Harry Kane
Mm.
in the training ground, and say, wake up, and do your thing, man. And I could see Kane is doing something. But it's a shame lah. They drew the last game with Southampton. But yeah, I mean, let's now. let's now slowly go into the top four discussion. Let's start off with number three lah. We go with number three first right now. Right now, number
Liverpool.
three. Who sits in number three? Okay,
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Who's it? Chelsea. Chelsea
Yeah,
number
it's
two
Chelsea.
actually. Chelsea is number two now
No,
actually
Liverpool.
because
Sorry. Yeah, it's
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Yeah, because Liverpool is number three. Okay, so in the but let's. I mean, City is likely going to win the title. Okay, likely. Yeah. Okay. Let's say there's no any
There's
mishaps to the
a thing
form.
where you say like whenever you're at top in Christmas, you're gonna win the title,
Yeah lah.
and
That's a tradition
Liverpool
lah.
bottled
Yeah.
it twice. The only team to bottle it twice is Liverpool lah. So it's quite
Liverpool
funny.
man, they're in the mud, bro. But they're in the how to say the schedule mud lah. That's what Klopp has been moaning about. But Chelsea, Liverpool. Okay, starting from number two. And then Arsenal, right? And then you have number five, West Ham, Spurs, Manchester United. Okay, Spurs and United, they have two games in hand. Two games in hand, right? So, um, do you okay? First question. First question. Let's start with Liverpool and Chelsea. Yeah, before we go to Arsenal and West Ham and Spurs and United, Chelsea and Liverpool. Do you think Chelsea will stay in the top four?
I think they will. I think top three is like confirmed already lah. I feel like that's my opinion, my view lah.
Okay,
Top
okay,
three is confirmed already lah.
okay.
Yeah,
So Chelsea will stay in the top four.
Chelsea will still in top four.
Okay, so they will be in the top three lah at least. Okay, bam, that's a
Yeah,
minimum
bro.
lah.
If they're
At
out of
least
top four, Kila banter club that one.
no. Okay, okay.
After
Chelsea is not doing well. Okay, you must know
yeah,
now. Chelsea is not doing well. Okay, and the and okay, I'm not just talking about not doing well. I think they have a serious issue with the attacking form. Not your defensive form. I think defensively they're still doing good. Like they are still very tight at the back. You know, Rudiger and all these guys lah at the back. They concede one goal. You know, even if they concede, they can still carry the game lah. Right? Kante and the midfield is still okay, but your attacking, I think they have a serious issue. If they continue with this form and Lukaku is just scoring one goal and not enough, to impact the game, do you think Chelsea can still stay in the top three
mm,
if they continue like this, like draw, win
I don't
once?
think so.
win-
I don't think
So
so.
that's the
Because
so that's the thing,
a
right?
lot of things can change during the second half of the season.
Yeah.
But if they continue on like this, right? Tuchel out will be trending, and probably he'll be sacked lah. I don't think so. Chelsea will wait until end of the season to wait him to
Oh,
be
that'd be
sacked lah.
crazy, man. If they sack Tuchel, right? That'd be insane.
That's the
Like
most Chelsea thing
they
lah,
shouldn't
bro.
do it, lah. But that'd be the most Chelsea thing. Yeah, that'd be the most Chelsea thing
Yeah,
is to sack him
yeah.
after January. But that is why I think Tuchel knows that. He knows that Chelsea is going to be like this. I think they're going to spend in the January transfer. I think they're going to get
Mm.
someone in that will really impact the game. I'm not sure if it's a striker because they already got Lukaku, but I think someone who's going to really impact their transitions, and are going to impact the game. So Chelsea, I'm still doubtful.
But the funny thing is,
But
they don't play with the. I'm not sure about now. I haven't been watching them now. But
mm,
earlier
mm,
parts of the season, they don't play with the number 10. So
mm, mm, mm. But
it's
now they do,
probably
right?
this. They do, is it? With who? Pulisic, ah?
Yeah. No, but Pulisic is like a false nine. He plays like a
Yeah.
false
They
nine,
don't have like a
Yeah.
traditional number 10. I think they tried to buy. Saul Niguez is considered number 10. Ah?
No. He's actually a number eight. He's supposed to be a
Yeah.
number eight, number six.
Mason
Kind of.
Mount, I think can lah, right? Mason Mount.
Yeah, Mason
Left
Mount.
and middle he'll play. Right in middle, yeah.
Yeah. And then
So
so yeah, I mean Chelsea is quite interesting in what they're going through now. Um But if they I mean, before hearing your thoughts, for me, like I would say, like Tuchel is a darn good manager, lah. He's a very good manager. But if they continue this form, their top three is going to be shaky. They might actually fall away, and then go to the number four, and then you could see like Arsenal and all that probably pushing Spurs also. There's going to be a rise of Spurs. Spurs is actually picking up form. They might push to go to the top four. So yeah, what do you think, Fami, with Chelsea?
I think same adjustment lah. I think top three is confirmed already lah.
Hmm.
I think this is just a blip lah, to say. And then
Okay.
if you saw Tuchel's press conference after the game yesterday,
Hmm.
where the journalist asked about competing with the Premier League, he said forget about it lah.
Hmm.
because because he has a lot of injuries and he has a lot of people on COVID and stuff like that. And then he did say that he cannot get the game postponed. And then he also says about tight schedule. He said
Hmm.
about what substitute. There's only 3 substitute instead of 5. So I mean, it's tough lah for the. I pity him lah. I pity because one, banyak
Okay.
injuries, banyak COVID. When you have injuries, you have COVID, you kena pakai you punya bench. And then you tengok Mason Mount. Mason Mount has been playing like 5-6 game on the trot, 90 minutes. Mesti penat punya, bro. So they don't have that guy to actually change because sub only has 3, all those things. Yeah, it's tough lah. But I do think that when there's some gap, when there will be gaps in the team, then gap in the fixtures, then I think they will start to pick up some form lah. Hold on, my daughter. Yes, baby.
No worries,
What's
man.
wrong? Okay. Close the door, please. Thank you. Bye-bye. My youngest.
So cute.
So what I was, where was I? Top 3. I think confirm lah. Chelsea will still be there.
Confirm.
Arsenal, Spurs, and United are going to fight out the 4th spot lah.
Yeah.
Let's hear more about that. So Liverpool is confirmed going to be on top 3. I think Liverpool it's a blip lah with Leicester. They will surely regain their form. Although with AFCON and all that, they will surely be in the top 3 mix. They will be somewhere there. But fourth place is the most wanted place, So Spurs, Arsenal, United, or West Ham, West Ham. Let's include West Ham lah. Let's not exclude them. West Ham, guys. What do you guys think?
I'll exclude West Ham.
Same. I think West Ham is
because like I told you,
inconsistent.
like we discussed on other streams that the squad has finally caught with them lah. The squad depth. So and then on the top 4, I think on this current form, United are not going to get it now. I want to say United, but with this form, no way.
Oh man.
It's hard for me to say it, but if you look at the form, no way lah. And then you look at the work that needs to be done by Raf, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot. Yep.
Conte has got his team ticking already. Arteta has got his team ticking. Raf hasn't got his team ticking. So, it's between Spurs and Arsenal. For now lah, we will revisit this in the next month. Okay. So after if United get some form in lah. So I don't know who to pick lah between Arsenal and Spurs. Actually, I seriously don't know because both are doing quite well lah. Susah lah for me. It will be decided maybe in the North London derby lah. Remember? Okay. Another thing. I really wanted to see how Arsenal performs against the top team. Tu je.
Yeah.
If they can actually perform against the top team, then I think they can get that top four lah. If they don't, if they stay the same against top team, kena belasah sana sini, then sorry lah. And then because Arteta baru, you don't know nothing about him as much. But Conte, you know already that okay, this guy is a top manager. Maybe against the big team, he can actually do well.
Yeah.
So that's the difference lah. And seriously, next month, by end of next month, maybe end of January, I hope I will be saying that United will be in the top four lah.
Yeah. Okay. So, Jasmine. Yeah, go ahead first. Yeah.
What was the question again?
No, the question is basically
Top four.
with
Top four,
top
right?
four, right? Yeah, top four. Yeah.
Who will get the fourth spot?
Okay.
Honest one,
Honestly,
not because of bias.
is
Yeah.
Arsenal. The main reason is like what Fahmi said earlier,
Yeah, aku
right?
cakap honest review dah.
Like what Fahmi said earlier in the stream, where you see like how COVID affected a lot of games and affected a lot of teams, especially. Like to add on what Fahmi said, right? Spurs and Man United have like COVID affected in terms of their games, and they have a lot of games in hand. That's one point, lah. That's one factor. And then the second factor is like you if you, let's say for example, right, like a one player gets, you are a new manager, you are rebuilding. Ralph is rebuilding, Conte is rebuilding as well, and then all your tactics, all your styles, your implementing is still new. And then when you lose a player, when the player, it's like how you go to school, lah, bro. Like one class you miss, then you'll be like, hey, what happened? Like what happened? You know, that kind of thing. Like what did they taught yesterday? So I think that could be a factor as well for Man United and Spurs, because they have a lot of games in hand. And for me, I would swap points on board rather than games in hand, because fixtures will pile up. Because so far Arsenal only have one game postponed against Wolves. Man United, I don't know, have three. I think three, right? Two or three. Three. Spurs has three.
Two
I think
games in hand.
Man United two, right? Spurs has three.
Yes.
And I would rather focus on the games that we have right now rather than we have a games in hand, because there's a lot of psychological pressure in a sense where we have a game in hand, we have to win, you know. So rather than looking at it game by game, and focusing on it game by game. So so I would go for in that factor, because both Man United, I think West Ham is too inconsistent to be in the I mean, commendable. It's kudos to them to what they have done so far in the season in the league. But I think Man United and Spurs, Arsenal are. I mean, for Arsenal, right? It's nice, like it's nice to actually care about your rivals' points. You know, sometimes like I think past 2 seasons you were like playing catching up and stuff. But now it's like it really means, you know, when a Chelsea loses or Man United loses or Spurs lose points and stuff. So my prediction is top four, based on the on the issues that Man United and Spurs are having in terms of COVID, and especially you want every player to be on board with your tactics and everything lah. So I think that's an advantage there for Arsenal, where you can focus one game at a time, not having a psychological pressure of having too many games in hand and bottling it. Yeah, so I would go for top four Arsenal lah.
And then
Okay.
Arsenal don't have any European games.
Yes.
They be fresher, you
Okay.
know. So they have they will have a limited COVID contraction, if I may say.
Mm.
So the advantage is actually on Arsenal.
Yeah.
Mm.
Pressure actually.
Uh,
Pressure also.
yeah, but yeah, actually pressure also.
Yeah.
Advantage there and pressure. So you want to see whether can you handle this? Can
Mm.
this team handle this? You know. So we'll see lah. But like betul lah, just macam cakap, you need to take game by game because the COVID is actually disrupting
Mm.
the flow of every team, etc.
Mm.
You know, macam a new team wanted to implement their new tactics, new philosophy
Mm.
of playing, and then suddenly COVID kena, you tak boleh nak, you know, Rani has only had 3 days in the past 3 weeks, 3 days of full training where
Mm.
everybody is there
Yeah.
apart from Pogba. Only 3 days, bro. Baru 3 hari training with the full team, apart from Pogba. Macam mana?
Yeah.
3 weeks,
Yeah.
3 weeks. 3 weeks is quite sometimes. You can do quite a lot at 3 weeks. You know.
Mm.
So it's a disruptive punya element lah now for a team who wants to implement new ways, to want to get your tactics on board. You know.
Yep.
Actually Spurs dah dapat sikit lah rhythm tu. Dia
Mm.
Conte and suddenly implement and looking like they are on board with it already lah. But United belum lagi, bro. Belum.
Yep. So yeah, I
The way
mean,
because
yeah.
because cakap belum because you can see Raf, you can see.
Mm.
Oh, by the way, I didn't watch the game live lah. I watched the replay. So I maki hamun kau itu je lah cakap. So
As
but
usual lah.
yeah, you can see that Raf is trying a lot of things. Meaning to say, he's, for instance, Greenwood, and when he played the other day, he played on top, and now suddenly he plays at number 10. Rashford plays on top the other day, and versus Newcastle, he plays as number 10. Bruno plays as number 10, and suddenly he plays at center midfield. So he's trying things. Where would this guy suit? You know, and I think the main reason why he picks this team, this this current first 11, because the fans are screaming like, why is still Rashford playing? Why is still Bruno playing? You see. I think the reason why, because okay, when he first came, he just continued with what Carrick has put out lah. He maintained the same tactics. The same 11 that Carrick took, and then they won against Palace. Then why should I change? I just continue lah, because I don't have much time also to work on things with the players, with other
Yeah.
players. And
Yeah.
and then kita continue versus Norwich, and hoping that it will be the same like Palace. But somehow it doesn't. It's like the team suddenly goes back to the Ole ways. If you watch the game versus Norwich, it's like Ole is still here, something like that. So, and then maybe on top of his head, maybe this is just a blip lah. You know, okay, I'll give them another chance versus Newcastle. And then same thing also. There's no the pressing that was lucky. I don't know what happened. The pressing was not there. The pressing from the front was not there. So people used to say old habits die hard lah. Kan? So 3 years already with Ole playing lethargic football, etc. Just playing on the counter, you know, no pressing, no high pressing, etc. Then it will impact lah. They will go back
Yep.
into their nila kan. So it'll be interesting to see what Raf do tonight lah. You know,
That's right.
Bruno is not playing.
Yeah, because I think he suspended, right? He misses the game, kan?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean like for the top four, right? Honestly, is these things lah. These are on the top of my mind. Number one is like who can actually bounce back immediately after a loss, who will be the fastest to bounce back? Because obviously Arsenal, Spurs, and United are gonna lose one of the games lah. The
Okay bro,
next few.
sorry ya, I nak selit sikit. Okay,
Okay.
Ragnik in the EPL, Raf has played 3 games, won
Okay.
2, draw 1.
Yeah.
Actually, it's quite good, you know. Actually, it's
From a
quite good.
stats from a
Yeah,
stats point of view,
from a
yeah.
from a points collection point of view, yes.
Yeah.
But from
Stats
the
and
eye
points, yeah.
test, from the eye test, no. So
From
actually, in
writers, no,
terms
yeah.
of that, we are very very lucky that we should have lost versus Norwich. Norwich was they should have won. Same as Newcastle. De Gea was like a madman, bro. Crazy man, that guy. He always
Mm-hmm.
he always delivers, you know. Why, man? Crazy man, this guy.
He's always at the top of his game when we are playing badly, man.
Gila,
When
bro.
United is playing badly, suddenly he motivates him, you know. When he
You know
sees
the
Maguire playing
ah
like crap, right? It motivates
yeah
him.
yeah.
I don't
You
know
saw
what's that, man.
you saw the Almiron. Was it the 87th minute or something? Was it Almiron? No.
I can't remember
Uh,
who, man. Joelinton,
yeah,
ah?
no, not Jolinton. There's this one guy who shot and then it bounced off
Yeah.
the
I
post.
know.
He bounced off the post and then got to Almiron. Almiron left-footed far post, and then De Gea saved like
Ooh, yeah, the curve.
yeah, like we call it a poster save. Oh, that's crazy, man.
But yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, with United, Spurs, and Arsenal, right? The one who actually get the top four is the one who can actually bounce back from a loss
Mm,
or from a
mm,
bad
mm,
form
mm, mm,
immediately.
mm.
So,
Yeah,
like I say, Arsenal, if
but
Arsenal loses after this, right? Okay, or Arsenal draws after this,
can they bounce?
who, if they bounce immediately, right? I can actually assure you that they will get the top four because that shows how much they want it, right?
Betul,
If
betul. Mm.
Spurs if Spurs actually they because they drew again the Brighton game, they drew, and then if they go on to win again, and then they draw this kind of thing. Because I think with us with Spurs is I think they are slowly trying to get Kane to score now, right?
Mm.
But if suddenly Kane is injured, okay, touch wood lah. We don't want Kane to be injured lah. We don't want any players to get injured. But if
Hey,
Kane gets injured, right?
we want Kane to get injured, please. We
This
want
guy
Kane to get injured. We want Martinelli to get injured. We want Smith Rowe to get injured.
injured,
Come on, bro.
injured, man.
We
Is that
want
your
Gabriel
Christmas
to
wish
get
list, guy?
injured. Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that your New Year's wish
yeah,
list?
yeah. Mm.
But yeah, I mean, like, if these guys get injured, right? If
Mm.
if the team can still bounce back and do something, that is the team that will get a top four. I tell you.
But
But I don't see
okay,
that spirit in United.
but
Yeah,
mm,
go ahead, go
but
ahead.
another point I'm trying to make because uh, I want to see how Arsenal perform first lah against the big team, and then bounce back is one thing lah. But under the pressure, under the cosh, can they actually perform lah? And actually correct lah, Joe. You said can they bounce back because once you lost against a big one, you lose, and then the next game is having so much pressure lah because they need to bounce. We expect you to bounce, things like that. Yeah.
I think for Arsenal, right, the problem is not bouncing back after a defeat against big teams. It's bouncing back after a defeat against a small team, like a setback.
Mm,
That's Arsenal's biggest issues. Has been for quite some time. Because I think the other day we lost against Brentford first game, and then it happened. We lost against Chelsea. We lost against
City.
City, and then we lost against Liverpool, and then happened against like Everton and Man United and all. So
Oh yeah, Everton game. Now I remember lah.
yeah,
Oh, you guys played bad with that game.
yeah. So
Okay.
and then against Brighton we had a blip, and then we drew against Crystal Palace at home. So that has been Arsenal's biggest problem this season. So I wouldn't be surprised if we lost against City and make a comeback, like we bounce back. But my biggest worry is losing or drawing against small team, and then that's it lah.
Mm. Mm.
We have
But
that
yeah, I
issue.
mean, if okay, the thing is, okay, one thing I've observed with Arsenal is they can score a lot of goals. If they can find their rhythm in the game, they can score a lot of goals, like more than 2 goals, right? More than 2 goals average in a game. They if I see Arsenal scoring 1 goal and they score first, there's likely going to be another goal coming, lah, right?
Yeah,
With I like average minimum 2 goals in a match. But for Spurs, in comparison with Spurs, right? Spurs, they struggle to score the next goal, if you get what I mean. Like they'll score first, but they'll struggle to score the next game. That doesn't mean they're not playing bad in. That doesn't mean they're not playing what they call well. They are playing well, but they have an issue with scoring goals. That's why they I think they're really relying on Kane right now and Mora to actually do the right thing, which is to score goals, and Son as well. But yeah, I mean, for Arsenal is not the issue of scoring goals. I think Arsenal is
Arsenal, okay,
about
let me check.
confidence.
yeah,
Arsenal, okay, after 19 games, scoring 32. They scored 32 goals. So averaging about 1.5, 1.5 goals a game.
Hmm.
Spurs, 17 games, 22 goals. United, 17 games, 27 goals. Okay. So actually, all the teams actually having hard time to score, actually, if
Hmm.
you see. Just Arsenal only recently lah, they
yeah.
scored quite a lot only recently because against Leeds Leeds biasa lah Leeds
Attack,
lagi
press, high press.
lagi orang score lagi dia attack lagi dia kangkang yeah.
Hmm.
So Leeds is like that lah. So it's we want to see how they cope with a team that is more compact lah. Right?
Yep. Yep.
I
Absolutely. Like
really
even
I've
yeah. Go ahead.
never take Arsenal seriously. I tell you, because of their form for the past few years. Only this season, okay, I need to really look at Arsenal and what they're doing. Because actually they are threatening my top spot, top four spot. So yeah, I'm looking at it. People are start to actually Aubameyang was the problem, bro. Kan?
He was.
Right?
He
Actually,
was.
he was the problem. And then when he wasn't there, they were playing so. I mean, not to say superb, but okay lah, bagus lah dia main, Arsenal.
Yeah,
Fluid, the fluidity, and then they when defend when defending they are compact. Etc.
Hmm.
Quite okay lah. Want to see? I really want to see because by looking at Arsenal, I will only can I judge Arteta lah how he's doing like, and if he managed to actually perform against a big team, and then like you said,
Hmm.
Joe just now, if he can bounce back, then you start to okay. Now you can rate Arteta lah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
I think as for United, right, if they were to
Mm.
get top four, right, it's either Ralph can get them ticking, but even then, I don't see that happening. I think he really needs time. Number, I think the way we're going to get top four is through individual brilliance.
hmm.
Is really to someone scoring and someone winning the penalties for us and someone scoring the goals for us. The old school way lah, like the individual brilliance. With United lah. I think that's how we're gonna get a top four. If not, I don't see any other way on how they're gonna get top four United. Because it's so tough to forecast anything right now with United.
I I just want to see Pogba back. And when Pogba is back
Okay.
and playing as a number 10, then I can see lah whether this because okay, United yesterday he's talking about Raf talking about ball retention etc kan. But you look at the front six, you look at Ronaldo, you look at Rashford, Bruno, Greenwood, Fred, and
Mm.
McTominay. Where's the ball retention? Correct or not?
Mm.
There's no ball retention
Yeah.
players
No one
that can
really
actually.
holds the ball. Yeah.
No. So I just wish that Pogba is back faster lah. I hope lah. I think he's like two weeks away. I think it's like 2 weeks away. I hope he's lesser than that lah kan. So and I want to see.
3 weeks. Yeah.
Actually, if he puts the correct 11, then I think I think I think you can do well, bro. And then the pressing thing, you know,
Mm,
like versus Palace, you can see the difference between the Palace game and the Norwich and Newcastle. Is vast
mm,
difference. Versus Palace, United was so comfortable. They were playing high
yep.
up the pitch. Palace doesn't have any sniff. De Gea was largely a spectator in the game, but it was
Mm,
totally
mm,
different versus Norwich. It was totally different versus Newcastle. So the pressing thing, if
mm.
if the players that if the players doesn't do what the managers told them to do, take them out lah. Why you still persist? Itu je problem I sekarang. Why you still persist? I want to see the lineup lah versus Burnley. Apa dia akan buat? I don't know.
Yeah. I think
I hope he
okay.
change.
Well, this is my thought, yeah. Okay, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, this is my thought. I mean, it's an opinion. He said something very interesting. He said this. I think it was on Sky Sports.
When?
Post match interview, and he
Okay.
said that um, during the training, we did
Mm.
really well. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
we our training was fast, high tempo, blah
Mm.
blah blah, blah and all that.
Mm. Mm.
And
Mm.
then during the match, we
Mm.
lost everything. So he
Betul.
said the word he
That's
used
what he said.
was he was surprised. He
Yeah,
was
correct. He was
surprised.
surprised. He said that. He was surprised.
So so I think he now knows
What the problem?
there's something that is happening with the squad where there's a very
Mentality. Is it a
deep lying
mentality
issue.
thing? I think mentality thing, bro.
It's a mentality thing is everything. And okay, I think that these players actually perform well during training. The McTominay, the Fred, the Maguire, I think they do well during training. Honestly, I don't
Because
think
there's,
Ralph is a dumb guy when he
of
always
course.
pick the weakest
Mm,
player to start, right?
mm, mm,
I
mm.
think these players where we see who are very, very weak on live games, right? They actually do tremendously well during training. Why would you not give a player a chance who themselves have been doing very well during training, right? But when you actually put them during the actual game, they are playing completely opposite. So that gap, do you see that? Do you see
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
as a manager, you will
Mm,
obviously give a chance to a player that is doing very well in the training.
mm,
But during the game, you'll be surprised. How come this guy? Aku bagi dia chance, tapi he cannot perform during the game. So I'm going to give him another chance. I'm going to give him another chance. So I think
mm.
Ralph is trying to figure out that part where he's trying to bridge the gap between the training and the actual game time. Remember what Roy Keane said, right? Roy Keane said, right? The training is much harder than the actual game. He said, right? During training, they are all top class players. Roy Keane, during his time, obviously, he said when they were playing, the trainings are much more intense and much more harder than the actual game. So when they played the actual game, it wasn't up to their standard because the trainings was very competitive, right? But I think the level of training is obviously so low so far, so low right now that they are so good in the training, but when it comes to the actual game, they flop.
Training tak ada fans, you know. Training there's no
Yeah.
fans. Dekat stadium lain, and then the pressure of the crowd, etc. You know, shouting at you, maki you, etc. Lah different. And then St James Park is like what 50,000, 55,000 people lah. It's big.
Mm,
It's a big stadium lah. So it's different, totally different. So he needs to know lah. Now actually is why they do it in the training but not on the live game kan. So
mm, mm,
maybe
mm.
it's a mentality thing lah. I think that's why also he took a psychologist into as his
Yep.
staff lah. You know, so and we'll see lah. We'll see. I just hope that he needs to figure things out fast
Yeah.
because game is coming thick and fast. Because actually, this period of games that we have currently right now is actually the one of the easiest runs of games. We need to
Yeah,
get
easiest. Yeah.
actually. We need to actually not drop a lot of points now. We need to get maximum kalau boleh. Maximum.
Mm,
I think about. I think about 13 games. Okay, now we've dropped 2 points. So I think that's done. Cukup. Drop 2 points cukup. One draw. Yang lain tu memang
mm.
kena menang. If
You
he
have to
can
win.
get
Yeah.
that, if he can get that points, if he can get that win, then I think it's we are we are going to have a chance lah for top four. If
Mm,
dekat sini stumble, sana sini stumble, then susah lah bro. Itulah.
mm. Yep. So I think, yeah, I think we've managed to cover most of the topics and everything. I think we managed to cover today all the topics that we wanted to actually speak about. And so yeah, I mean, so far, um, I just one last thing lah, one last thing. Before we end the stream. Now the year is going to end, obviously, in a few days' time, right? Um, which player do you think for this season, right? Half of this season, okay, who have actually been performing like the best so far and have been performing the worst so far? All right, I want to ask you guys on top of your mind, lah. Okay, I know you guys will say Bernardo Silva and all that, lah, but try to find another name for the best player besides Bernardo Silva. I think all of us will say Bernardo Silva or what, but try to find another player who you think is like the best player so far, in all this while in the season, and the worst player so far. All right. So yeah, Jasmine can go first now.
Uh, for me, best player Joao Cancelo.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Mm,
worst
That's a good
player,
shot. That's a good shot.
good shout. Yeah.
worst player. Fight between Oba and Kane lah. Yeah, has to be that lah.
Ouch.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the top three guys who are playing that bad lah. Because Liverpool have their players performing, Chelsea. It's just a blip, like what Fami said, and then Man City have no need to say lah. So looking down, like Man United, uh, Spurs, and Arsenal is Oba and Kane lah. Between them lah.
Mm,
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay. Since Jasmine has said Cancelo, so I don't have any other names other than Bernardo Silva. See, I'm trying so hard to find a name because maybe Salah lah, but no, Bernardo Silva is different, bro. The impact that he has is actually on every game, at every
mm,
game,
Hmm.
every phase of attacking play, he is there. That's why I cannot just simply take someone else. I will just go with Bernardo. The worst player this season to me, and actually since last season, Rashford. Rashford teruk, bro.
ooh.
Rashford teruk, bro.
Wow.
Rashford teruk, bro.
Wow.
What happened, man? You know, today I watched a compilation, Martial compilation. Oh, that guy, I told you, that guy is so fucking good, man. And then you remember
Mm,
when he was on form and how Martial and Rashford used to play together?
mm,
Where was that? I mean, where is that? I mean, they need to find it back. That's what I
mm,
think. Like,
mm, mm,
Raf needs to find that back. I mean, yeah, like Martial said he wants to leave, blah blah blah. As long as he's not
mm,
going out yet, there's still a way
mm,
for him to actually turn his thoughts around, lah. Uh,
mm, mm.
I hope that he's not injured, right? I just hope that he plays, lah. Maybe some part of the game tonight, lah. And
Mm,
I don't want Ronaldo to play.
mm,
I don't want Ronaldo to play, not because yeah, he's a superstar, he's a clutch moment player, blah 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 blah. But why do we need a clutch moment player? That means you are crap
mm,
when you need clutch moments. because you are crap. You should be like City. You should be like Liverpool. Just brush teams away instead of just waiting for the moment, like last minute score, blah blah blah.
Mm-mm.
So Ronaldo, because okay, one, he is old. He should be on the bench. Like, he cannot play all
Yeah.
the time. And then his link up play is meh lah, bro. Correct or not?
Mm.
His link up play is just terrible lah. The way I see it, if you want to make Ronaldo, you want to make it happen, is that we have to have, uh, we need to put it things on plate for him lah.
Mm.
Chances has to be created lah, because, and then with the current verse 11, there won't be any chance creation lah. One thing I just want to say about the game versus Newcastle. One thing that I'm happy with Raf was that he he noticed that things are not going well, and
Mm.
then straight halftime he changed. That's what I like lah.
Yep.
That's what I like. He straight put in Sancho and Cavani.
Yep.
That's what I like about it. If Ole was here, he would maybe make the change at 85 minutes or maybe 87 minutes. So okay, that's the
Yeah.
positive lah. About it.
Ole, he papers the cracks. But yeah, I mean,
Ole. Rebuilding,
yeah,
rebuilding.
rebuilding. Oh man, I hate no those words, rebuilding DNA and all that. I do
Yeah,
not
bro.
know. Oh man,
Buzzwords, buzzwords.
buzzwords lah. I mean, they do not know what's the meaning of those in footballing terms. When you say a rebuild, that is a massive
Betul lah.
term. In a footballing
Yeah,
ecosystem, it's not.
yeah.
It's like a rebuilding a school. If you say you want to rebuild a school, wow, you will feel like wow, we are rebuilding a school. You need to get new sets of teachers. You need to get new
Yeah.
infrastructure. Everything
Hmm.
is from the foundation, right?
Hmm.
You need what foundation you're talking about in an academy level, in a footballing level. So when you say a rebuilding, you just want to get a manager, is it? uh, a manager himself is not called a rebuild. It's part of the rebuild, but it's a lot of work. But anyway, we were talking about the best player, right? So I'm gonna say the best player so far is I cannot say Bernardo Silva, I cannot say Cancelo now. I would say Kante, okay. Unpopular opinion lah, but I think Kante is immense, bro. I love
Yeah,
Kante.
memang, memang. Every
Kante
time he
is
plays lah.
every time he plays, for me, he's like the best player. Like
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Chelsea, and every time he plays, he almost gets like the man of the match by just smiling. Uh, Kante gets man of the match almost when he plays like that level. When he plays for Champions League, when Chelsea plays in Champions League this season, Premier League, Kante's impact is very very high impact. He plays a very high impact game. So yeah, for me, Kante. I think why people don't really mention him because it's boring lah. Because every time he plays, he's really good. So that's why I think people just oh Kante, they just give a shout out. That's it. But now with the rising, like the one who gives really huge impacts like Bernardo Silva and all that, so people will talk about them. But for Kante, he's been like this for a while already. So, but I still give the shout to Kante. The worst player is Harry Maguire lah. Uh,
Nice. So, worst player from two United fans, the worst player are from two United players. See?
bro, even my wife say he's the worst player.
No, your wife is a clever lady lah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's only like recently start watching football intensively lah, I would say. And she can say she can the eye test, you watch, you can say this guy is a football player ka? you know
oh,
he
nice.
man, is this guy even a football player? That's the question. uh no, this why he's not athletic.
No.
Okay, let's be honest, he's not athletic, right? He's not. If you're athletic, you can see, like, what's his name, Ben White is athletic. You can see the way he moves the ball, the agility, the flash, the way your reflexes, the way you move, the quick turns and all that. those are the fruit of your athleticism. You don't see that in Maguire. Maguire doesn't do any quick turns.
No, he
Takes
doesn't
a
do
long
anything,
time, you know.
bro. He doesn't do
Yeah,
anything good. That's the
he's
thing.
cold
He
inside. That's
cannot.
why they call him the
Yeah, he
fridge.
can. Yeah, he cannot tackle. He cannot command the line. He cannot sprint. He can pass 5 yard pass lah. Saint Maximin turned him inside out how many times, man? Last night.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
man.
banyak kali, bro. Banyak kali. Yeah, Maguire is. I mean, United players. I think semua ni very very entitled lah to me. I think they are very very entitled. They think they are they are a top player, even though they haven't won anything yet. So
Hmm.
the mentality is a bit rosak kat situ lah. Oh, I need to play every game. Yeah, you play. Everything stems from Ole lah. Ole, even if you play badly, you can still play. Things like that.
Hmm.
And then they feel like, oh, I need, I'm entitled to play even if and then the mentality will seep into you. Now we have Raf. Raf needs to change it lah. He needs to change it. I think just bin this bad players lah. Tu je lah. For us to actually catch Arsenal now, due to us, because we drew against Newcastle, now we are
Hmm.
actually behind Arsenal. Actually, if you won against Newcastle and won against
Yeah.
whoever, our
Hmm.
our match, I mean, sorry, our remaining fixtures do, actually we can actually be, I mean, we go above
Go
Arsenal
above.
1 point, I think. We go
Yeah.
above.
Hmm.
But because we drew now, actually, if we win our game in hand, we're still behind them. So quite susah
Hmm.
now. Is the thing about it is that it's not in our hands. It's in other people's hands lah. We need them
Hmm.
to actually perform badly for us to catch up. So susah sikit lah.
The worst kind of yeah,
Yeah, it's not in your hands.
so bad. Yeah.
Mm.
All right, man. All right, guys. We will wrap up our stream right now, and this would be obviously the last stream of the year, and we will catch you guys back in the next stream. We want to
Yeah.
do this every week. So just want to thank Fami, and Jasmine as well for coming on live on the channel. And you can catch these guys on Twitter as well. Catch us on Twitter. Those are our Twitter handles. If you see on the bottom of our face, you can see our Twitter handles right there. So connect with us on Twitter. And for those of you who are new to the channel and you have not subscribed, do subscribe to the channel. Share it with your friends, who would actually enjoy chatting about football. And share with us your if you want us to touch on certain kind of topics in our next live stream,
Yeah.
or
Mm.
what, do actually comment on our YouTube video.
Yeah.
Do actually give us if you want us to actually touch on certain interesting topics, of course, football related. If you want to talk about my hairstyle or any of Fami's cap brand and all that, so sorry, we might not be able to do that. But please, if you guys have any ideas or football related, you want to touch on certain topic, please comment, and please smash the like button, turn on the notifications on, so that it will help our YouTube video algorithm, and it will push our video into the public more. Yeah, you guys want to say anything? Any shout outs or anything?
Yeah, one last thing. Whoever's watching, yeah, whoever's watching who really like our content, if you like to come aboard, join us
Hmm.
for a chat, for a stream, yeah, please DM any of us. We are
Yes.
open to, yeah, we are open to get anyone for a chat, no problem.
Yes.
Especially Chelsea and Liverpool fan lah. We
Yeah.
need him.
Chelsea and
We
Liverpool
need them
fans, come
now.
on, guys.
Hmm.
We need Chelsea
We
and
need them
Liverpool
now.
fans. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. If you
yeah.
guys know of anyone, it might not be you, but if you know someone who is a
For
Chelsea
once.
or Liverpool fans and who want to actually come on the live show and give your views and all that, even for a short while, we are open to that. So
Yeah, no
with
problem.
that, we want to thank you for your support for this year. It's been 5 episodes, I think a month plus, and we just want to thank you, all of you, for your love and support in growing this channel with us. We hope to hit 100 in the coming year, 2022. So with that, we will close the chapter for this year and see you guys next year.
All right.
And
Ha-
happy
Happy
New
New
Year.
Year.
Yep.
Happy New Year,
Happy
guys.
New
Ciao.
Year.
Yep. Peace out.
Peace.
Ciao.